Welcome to Blue Collar Crypto with Tim Tarosian. We are thrilled to have him joining us here again on this wonderful Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the gentlemen out there who have all those wonderful impacts on our lives, whether you're a direct dad or a dad to whoever's nearby you, and you all know what I'm saying. Stepdads, grandfathers, father figures, you all are being celebrated today. So happy Father's Day out there to everyone. So Tim, we are going to send this on over to you. Welcome aboard. And what do you have for us today?
Okay. Well, the first thing I should say is sometimes something special happens and you want to tell people. So I was eating at a restaurant we call it Gus's restaurant. It's a Happy Days, 50s style diner here in Wisconsin. And so for some reason I thought it would be a nice time. Let's pray before our meal, okay? And so it was my idea. But so then the lady comes to our table after she's done with her family and tells us how, that was such a great thing that you prayed. So give me a second here. Okay, so she left after she complimented us, which is a great thing, communication. So after she left, we were ready to go, and the waitress, came over and says, well, your bill is paid for. So they had paid for our lunch, which was really nice of them, of her, right? It was Father's Day, and I thought, what a nice little gesture. So giving things on Father's Day is pretty nice, very effective gesture. It doesn't have to be anything economic, right? It could just be a compliment that day. So she went out of her way. So let's get to our subject here. I'm outside, it's a little noisy. This is Blue Collar Crypto. This is for those who, they may be in a blue collar job for 10, 20, 30 years. And quite frankly, they feel like they are outside of the job market. For a while, they've been in the same job and maybe nothing's changed for them since they've been in the same job. The world looks the same. But if they have an idea of retiring or changing jobs, or they may find the world's after the pandemic, certainly, but for so many technological reasons has changed, the world has. I'm sure almost nobody doesn't have a cell phone, but the cell phone doesn't cover all the changes that have been happening. And I quite frankly haven't been prepared. So I would like to take this journey, and join me for these podcasts every week on Sundays at 4 and 6 p.m. And then let's just keep doing this. If one person gets a positive feedback from this and starts to look at things, and I can give you a couple pointers along the way, that's great. So what I predicted in previous shows is that the United States government is not happy with the cryptocurrency market. They're not happy, okay? We're going from a world where governments are printing money. The Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, the Chinese yuan, I think, yuan. They have their own currencies, and everybody is accustomed. Even in Egypt, they have their own currencies. In Egypt, in Cairo, they didn't want my United States dollars. They didn't care. So they have their currencies. They're happy. They're printed by the government, and to put it lightly, This is one way the governments control their citizens, right? This is the one way they protect, and this is the way they control the activities of citizens. But the world is changing. You do not need to get your currency, your money from the government. You can create it with cryptocurrency. You can make your own money at home. You have your own money printing press at home. I'd like to show this in the future and illustrate that mining, even Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, can be mined from your computer, just like mining coal from a coal mine. It's really no different, right? Except the coal is yours. You get to keep it, right? So the cryptocurrency, once you mined it, is yours. It goes in your account. It can even be transferred into a real bank account where you keep your dollars. So that's called mining. There's decentralized finance. It's called DeFi, DEFI for short. And here's a book. I'm just going to put it on the screen next to my noggin. You're right here, DeFi. Some of you might notice DeFi, and in small letters it says for, and in big letters it says dummies, right? Okay, the rest of us, the ones that aren't smart, right? This is dummies, okay? Here's a book that attempts to, quite honorably attempts to tell you what decentralized finance of currencies, cryptocurrencies is. And it's up to me to explain what is a cryptocurrency and what is DeFi. DeFi is related to a smart contract, but basically a DeFi system creates currencies, and you create much like creating a market for e-cigarettes, right? There wasn't one at one time, but then all of a sudden there was everybody, right? That's what DeFi does. It creates a market for a currency. It creates a demand for a currency. And this book is perfect for this screen right here to show you. When you go to your bookstore or type in DeFi for Dummies, here's a great way for me to illustrate where you need to go to learn more about cryptocurrencies. It's a book. If you can't work a computer, at least you can read this book, right? DeFi for DeFi for Dummies. Decentralized finance. Say it with me. Decentralized finance. As opposed to what? It's not centralized, it's decentralized. It's the opposite of central, right? Centralized finance is what? It's when Janet Yellen or Jerome Powell decides that the interest rates should go up, and it affects everybody. It affects the dollars in your pocket. It affects the mortgage that you get that has just increased $50,000 over a lifetime. $50,000 of your money that you didn't have in the first place, but over a lifetime, that's $50,000 for the same house you could have got a couple years ago for $50,000 less. Here's a way to beat back, right? Create your money from thin air, right? Decentralized finance. You are the centralized finance. You with the computer at home, you are the finance. You are the master of finance. You have your own money printing machine at home. It's called either a cell phone or a computer. And it's hard to have an excuse for not creating your own finance at home. If you have a cell phone, it's hard to say, well, I couldn't do it because I didn't have a computer. Well, now you have to say, I couldn't do it because I didn't have a cell phone. All right. So we've established you can create your own money from your cell phone. In this iteration, this podcast, I'll say it again, you can create cryptocurrency from your cell phone. You don't need a mining machine. You can do it remotely, right? So is it any wonder why we need 90,000 more IRS agents? You know, they're understaffed. Of course, they're going to hire more IRS agents to collect more money, and less people will get away. And they say the little guy is going to be the person who's not going to be able to escape their taxes. So, yours truly, you know, and others, right? But a lot of these taxes are going to be created by the rise in cryptocurrency, the incomes that arise from cryptocurrency, and the IRS agents will be looking at those incomes because they won't be denominated in the United States dollars. They'll be denominated in Bitcoin, and it's a little trickier, but when you sell your cryptocurrency, that's an event that's taxable. If you haven't sold it, it's not taxable. So what if you keep selling your cryptocurrency every time and you make a gain or a loss every time you sell, or you know, what if you do that? Well, the IRS is kind of saying, hey, every time you make a transaction, you need to have accounting rules that show the ability to show the IRS, did you make or lose money on that transaction? It gets complicated, but they're going to have to develop rules at the IRS to show how much a cryptocurrency trader has made in a calendar year, in a taxable year. Now, I could be wrong. I'm probably not wrong. They want to tax your cryptocurrency, okay? They hired more agents. More people are making money, so they need more agents. While the other agencies are woefully understaffed, some agencies have 50 or 100, couple hundred agents around the country. The IRS isn't fooling around. They want 90,000 agents, new agents, right? So when it comes time to getting your money, every agent is going to be worth what he collects, you know. So let's get back to it. This is the book. It's $30, right? So read it and see if it makes sense, right? Right? You could probably get it online, right? DeFi for Dummies, right? You can probably get it on Amazon for less. I paid 30. Amazon's probably got some used books. Who knows? You might be able to get a copy for $10. It's a brand new book. It's 2023. So that means that it's never been published before. That means all the information in it is recent. We're not talking about the crypto market of 5 years ago that somebody wrote a book about. You can find those on the shelf. And this book is set up so that it makes it easy. The idea is to teach you. The book it's not a textbook from college. It's for all of us, right? So I commend them for that. I'm going to get off the show right now. We've had enough for 1 week. DeFi for Dummies, okay? Decentralized finance, the center of our universe as we know it. All right, thank you, Sue, and I'll be off.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tim, for joining us as always. And want to take a moment here to thank all of our partners with us. So as Tim Torossian, host of Blue Collar Crypto. Special thanks to our distribution partners. Jay Stoyan with the Disability Channel out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Zach Clayton of the Pact channel, Marcus Hart of Transform You Media Network, Lawrence Wingate with Wingate Studios and Wingate TV. And we also want to recognize Nonprofit TV and their support with their Facebook campaign. So we are back here every Sunday at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. with Tim Tarosian for Blue Collar Crypto. We look forward to our next episode next week.